Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are continuing our surviving Pertam, the wastelands, and today we are going to build our truck. Alright, so first things first, I actually did stop using Armageddon. One, because I got the achievement already. Two, it doesn't really cause any issues and hostility or anything to me. It hasn't really hit my base at all yet, and that's because I have ammo and a turret, so it's not significantly doing anything, to be honest. It's not making things harder or anything like that in terms of damage. The biggest thing that is the worst is that it litters the floor with these little hoes and everything like that, which is actually ruining my driving, the fun of driving rovers. So I decided to turn it off mainly because of that, because we're building mostly rovers anyways, and we're just gonna make a whole different kinds of rovers, and they keep hitting these hoes, they fall in it, they break, and it's not fun. Really, it just keeps flipping over. I gotta reflip them. So yeah, that's my defining factor why I decided to turn it off, and I think it's a good idea. Again, it didn't really pose any like threat to me whatsoever, because one, I've got ammo, and two, it hasn't hit me at all. I think the weather hit me more than the meteors did, like the lightning strikes. Yeah, I got zapped a couple of good times so far. All right, so other than that, yeah, because I kept on feeling more my own landscaper, so I've been kind of trying to do some little landscaping here, as you see. And when I gotta try to like even out these holes and then patch them up, so it's a pain in the butt. So I decided, yeah, let's just turn it off. It's not really doing much. I mean, even if it drops a little bit of material, it's not very helpful anyway. It's very minor. You gotta really comb through them to really find it. I'd rather find them outside in the bigger patches anyways, because we're building this big old truck to get it and stuff. So yeah, so other than that, let's talk about the base really quick. So I did a lot of things a little bit off camera while I was building the truck, or waiting for materials to be built up to make the truck. So while I walked through what I did really quickly, of course we saw this previously, and a good idea, yeah, as mentioned in the comment section, put a sensor to detect if we're here on and off for the grinder here. And I put a conveyor here just to change things up, so it collects things a little bit better. Obviously not the best though, but it's decent. But I actually ran out of silicone, so I can't build the sensor whatsoever. So I tried to do that earlier, and looks like I'm out of stuff to build radio components and detector components. So I mean, I can take it from the antenna, but let's leave that for now. I'm just gonna search for it and build that up. Other than that, we have this here, which is our charging station for a buggy. Again, another reason why I put this here is because of the comment section. Someone said put a hinge part there on the buggy, and then put it here. Well, I put it here and added an attached and detached button, so we can easily put it on and off and charge it, which we done so previously. All right, so another comment said to put a turbine on a piston. I honestly tried that. I don't know if you were trolling me or not, but it does not work because it becomes somewhat of a subgrid, so it wouldn't spin whatsoever when I had it on a piston. Maybe I did it wrong, I don't know, but I tried it, didn't work, so I scratched it. And I think other than that, we didn't do too much except for connect some tubing to the medical room, or bay I call it. That way we get the oxygen or whatever rolling, because we technically don't need oxygen here except for when it's storming. And it was storming pretty bad. I think it was a sandstorm, and couldn't breathe, and almost, you know, tanked it down, almost died. So I decided to put this here with the little minimal ice that we have. I think we only have like 300 of ice, so not too much, but it was enough to give me that oxygen that I needed. And the O2 H2 generator is actually back in here behind it, and an assembler. I built a bigger assembler, had the materials to do it, so I did it, and attached it with 3 speed modules. So that's gonna run my batteries pretty quickly. but it should be okay for the time being. I don't think we actually deplete it. We have 3 small batteries so far in the base, which isn't too bad. We should probably evolve them or upgrade them to the larger ones at some point. But I think it should be okay for the time being. We have more than enough turbines. We have 5 turbines to run us some power anyways. But yeah, so for the bug itself, the hinge part I put was in the back here. And in front of us, you'll see the truck that we're talking about. But we'll talk about that in a second. Here is where I put the hinge part. I could probably put it on both sides just to make it, you know, symmetrical, make it look a little bit better. But I did it on this side for now, and we just got back it up and connect it here. The only reason why I left this buggy here is because it actually kind of helped us with something. And it looks like I broke something too. Oh, it looks like I broke the whole entire thing actually. So that was weird. It didn't break before, but what I did was actually got this little rover in front of me out of this stuck spot over there because it fell in the hole earlier. So it looks like I gotta rebuild the arm, and it looks like that doesn't look good. So I can't even change my view right now because there's a piece of steel right in my lap or on my lap. So I'm gonna have to navigate this guy back here and park it, or we'll leave it here for now. I can't really park it because I can't see because it's just stuck there. I don't know if I can even get rid of it, to be honest. Oh, I could. So that's that. It's very hard to get that piece out, but at least I can see now. So I'm gonna have to rebuild that arm, and I do want to rebuild it a little bit better, to be honest. It's not the best arm in the world, so we're gonna fix that up a little bit. And of course, yeah, I forgot to mention, I did change the friction of the front wheels, so we don't have that, you know, when you go fast and stop, it actually slides a little bit, instead of having it just like fall over. So that was a great suggestion, so thanks for that. And I think we have it plopped on very close to, it's likely, it might break. I hope not. Yep, it broke. So that was a bad idea to keep it kind of slanted that way. But whoops. Oh well. This Buggy's getting the worst of it for now. But it's 2 days of charge, so it should be fine. Let's just let's do it a favor and park it and turn off the power. I still gotta rebuild it a little bit. But yeah, so I built this little trolley type of crane system, not crane, a lifter for myself, so that I can climb up and make the truck, which you're gonna see in a very long time lapse that I have of making the truck. It's not even completed. It's still missing the cargo section of it. So that's still in the works, so we should be finished with that in the next video, to be honest. Right, so this little rover was kind of my crane system or my lifting system to get myself up into a certain height to weld up and build this truck next to me, or right there. And it is controlled remotely, so I can't actually just jump on here. I made it kind of difficult to jump up here, but you could just jump up here. It has a camera as well. So what I use this for is basically remote access, and then let me get my antenna up. Remote access control, and I can drive this back and forth. So the original design was a little flawed, which you're gonna see in the time lapse, and that was based on a 4-wheel design, 1 wheel on each side of the square. And I was hoping to reduce friction on the driving side, the non-driving side, so that it can go forward and backwards and everything like that. And it didn't work out well, so that was scratched after a while. So yeah, but yeah, as you see here, I remote into the system, right? I can lift up with 2 pistons going up, which is awesome. That gives me a little bit of height, not too much. And we can also spin it a bit to get a different direction. I made it a bit of a square, so it's kind of pointless why I would have this spinning direction, to be honest, but I did it anyways, hoping to make a bit of a difference, but it makes no difference except for probably this spin here, which it gets a little bit more. But again, it's not significant, so honestly helped a little bit with the building, not too much. What helped me the most was when I built ladders for it. And there was a weird issue that I was having when I was remoting in earlier. So when I control into it and drive, there you go. It does exist. So this is magic trick or magic show number 2, where my hand stretches across the map. So this is gonna stretch. I'm not even sure how long and when it's gonna go back because I never tried it. I just thought it was kind of weird, so I just kind of stopped it. So I could keep going. It looks like I could keep going, and my arm's gonna extend out. And it looks like it's taking my right arm, so I guess I become a bit of a Stretch Armstrong in a way. So it's not really tethering me to anything, so that's a good thing. I don't know if it's making the drive a little more difficult or not, but it kind of seems like it is, and I think I just got stuck. Yeah, I got stuck. Alright, so I'm gonna have to build that Armageddon on that buggy to bring myself out of this thing. But look at that shadow on there. That is crazy. So yeah, I'm not sure why it does that. But once I get out of it, it just comes back. So actually I never tried it with anything else. I just tried it with the welder, and it does that. So let's put a rifle on and try. Well, I'm stuck anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out of this. And I think I'm falling in. Nope, I'm getting out of it. Nope, I might flip this guy. I really don't want to flip this. Alright, there you go. Full power, full friction. Way to do it. Alright, so I gotta fix that because the power I didn't want it too much. Friction I didn't want too much either. Alright, so it looks like if you do a rifle, it stretches both arms because it uses both arms. And honestly, putting the rotor on here, it makes the whole thing so awkward to turn. So yeah, look at that. Both my arms completely stretched out. Very weird, but again, it fixes once I get off of it. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing when I use maybe a hand grinder and then also the drill. But let's test it just for fun. There you go. That's insane. I have no idea why it's doing that, but it looks pretty crazy. Let's try the drill. Yep, the drill does it. And what else? A building hand? Let's see. Remote control. Yep, that even stretches, so that's a little crazy. I don't know if it's affecting the drive. It might be. Actually, I don't think so. But it kind of seems like it is. I don't know why. So, again, here's your magic trick number 2 in Space Engineers. Alright, so yeah. You're going to see this rover in the time lapse. It is a remote controlled rover. It has a remote control here. Has an antenna. Has a camera, so I can easily drive it if I wanted to. So I can go in here, hit camera, and I can just easily drive it this way and see where I'm kind of going. Kind of. I don't have any backwards or side cameras just yet, but this kind of helps out to kind of see where I'm going. And again, it has 2 pistons going up. It does have 1 piston going down for no apparent reason. I don't know why I thought of putting it there, but if I do use it, it calls it summons Clang actually. So Lord Clang comes out and just pretty much wrecks this whole rover, to be honest. So in the time lapse, you kind of see it roughly fly away to the side, and I had to reflip it over, but it didn't break anything, which was good. But it did fly away from the camera view, which sucked. But I don't know what happens, but once you hit down, it pops it and it's gonna fly. So it's weird. I mean, I can test it again just for fun, but I don't know. I kind of like this rover that I want to kind of change up later on, but maybe I'll do it in the future. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to pay or sacrifice this rover to Lord Clang, basically. All right, so for the main show, we have our truck. So as I mentioned in the previous video or episode, what I really wanted to do was create a truck and have a kind of like a trailer on the side. And then on top of that, it's going to be a removable drill or drill system, which we can use on top of those white ore specs, or even if it's ice, then we can find that. So I built the truck, but I didn't finish the drilling system just yet. So here's the front, and here's the sides, which it looks decent. The main truck has been finished. The trailer itself has not. I'm gonna go with spectator mode just so you guys can see what it looks like, because I can't fly. So here's a nice little view for you guys. Right, so we have the truck in the front. We have some windows finished, but not all of them. So I try to make a kind of a boxy truck in the front with a bit of an engine. It's a hydrogen engine, as you see here. It's honestly not connected to anything just yet. Eventually, I do want to collect ice to power up this truck. The front here is the control seat, and there should be a door back here in the future, just not just yet. And we have some side designs along with the wheels. So it's 3x3 wheels, 6 wheels, 3 on each side. I kind of made it a little too front heavy, so this one is the heavy side right here, these 2 wheels, left and right, because I added 2 batteries way too far in the front, and I didn't want to get rid of them, because if I get rid of them, I might lose. I'm going to lose the power cells. So I'll decide against that. So I'm gonna build 2 more here and see if I can transfer those later on down the line, or hopefully that kind of balances it out. But either way, this whole trailer system should balance it out anyways. And I added 2 of these oxygen farms, I think they're called. Not fully welded to kind of make this pipe design. I could put an exhaust on the very top to make some smoke if I wanted to, but I won't do that just yet, because I'm actually kind of running out of materials. Not really. I have a significant amount of iron, just not everything else. So the second part to the truck was this trailer piece here. So I attached it with a rotor to get the left and right spin, and a hinge to go up and down. I think the better idea would have been to put a rotor so that it can spin and rotate more left and right, like this basically. But I just worked with the hinge for now to see how it works. The biggest problem is when you're attaching it, it's going to cause a lot of issues, because you have to put it right in the middle, as you saw my buggy where it just broke everything. Unlike the rotor where you can stick it kind of in the middle, but not necessarily all the way, and it works perfectly fine. So we'll see where that goes in the future, if it breaks or not. And then of course we have 2 pistons on each side here, 1 on each side, and that's to lift it up. So that it can be on the ground. I do want to put a landing gear system on it so it locks in place, but I really don't want to use the large landing gears, because that takes up so much space. I'm going to find a way to put small ones on. And this thing has not been completely welded, because it's going to take a long time to run back and forth just to weld it up. So I'll deal with that a little bit later. I might actually have to make a rover with the crane system with welding. It's something we've done before in the past, so we're going to use that, put on a script and do that. But this trailer system is going to carry the payload, and that's going to be 1 or 2 large cargo systems and the drill system as well. And this thing's all, again, 3x3 wheels. There's 4 on each side, total of 8. We have some batteries here too. Completely ran out of power cells, so I need to make more. These are wheels unwelded, just to give it some cushion, because this thing actually, as you see the pistons there, does move up and down in a way. So what I'm thinking of putting is lay down the large cargo container right here. So let me just go back to the person and show you guys real quick. Okay, so we have pistons here, as you see, hinges, pistons, more hinges, because what I'm trying to do is actually on top of here, using either large cargos and some landing gears, or maybe connectors, I'm not sure yet. Where the large cargo, it's actually going to be kind of its own system itself, but it's gonna connect and lay down on top of this here. So it's gonna connect here somehow, I'm not sure yet. I built this to be I built it for 2 large containers, that's why it's this long. And then the drill system's a little long too, because you want to go deep enough to get as low or down the meters as possible. So if I build one, then we have a nice long drill, but we're always going to get packed really quick. We build two, it'll be nice to have the extra storage for the stone, irons, or whatever we can find. But the problem is that it's going to get super heavy, and I'm not sure if this truck's going to be able to pull all the weight. So that's kind of the downside. But I mean, that's the idea. We have the large cargo here, large cargo here. We're going to have a drill system going down this way with pistons. On the tail end, maybe a hinge system or rotor system. I'm kind of leaning towards the rotor system drill. And then some landing gears on the bottom. Because if it's built out, laid down like that and connected, what this truck can do, if I didn't fall all the way down, let me get back up. Alright, so what this truck can do, and a little fancy, is this. Hit the button, and it goes all the way up. So then we can disconnect the cargo and drill system, let the landing gears hit the floor, and then start drilling that patch of ore. So as you see here, it's gonna flip very vertical. I'm not 100% sure if the weight can hold all this, but so far it looks pretty damn cool. So it's very slow because I didn't want it to slam down once it gets down. So you see here, it's gonna get to the very vertical point, and that's where it can disconnect that drilling system. So that way we can collect ore from a spot, take it, bring it back, refine it, putting it to another spot, drop it, drill, take it back, and so forth. So you see here, that's pretty vertical. Well, it's actually 100% vertical here. And of course, we can bring it down. We hit the reverse button there, and the whole system will just come down very slowly, just in case of the weight. The pistons are, I think, at 0.1 velocity. The hinge system, you have one hinge here, one hinge here, one hinge here, and that's all at no torque, basically. And of course, the pistons are gonna have to increase the torque eventually. But yeah, that kind of kills the whole reasoning of having that system over here. You see here, I made my own drilling system here, and then once I'm done drilling for the little things that I needed, it stays here, or I take it with me and find more stuff. I ideally want to make it mobile instead of having it stationary, because I have to just dismantle and then make it again, dismantle, make it again. So that's not very fun. I mean, it can be, to be honest, but not very fun in terms of watching the same routines over and over again, as a video, at least. All right, so now you see the system's all the way down, and it's so simple. Just up. Once you turn it on, it goes up. Turn it, hit reverse, it goes down. So basically, how it kind of all works is the piston itself kind of pushes, and it allows the torqueless hinges, which you're gonna see here, to kind of just rotate and fix itself. So honestly, this took a very long time to kind of figure out. My brain doesn't work that great sometimes. So in the time lapse, you're gonna see I did it the opposite way, where the pistons were extending from this side over to this way, while the hinge was back here. So it didn't flip vertically, but it did flip kind of diagonally. So then I thought about it a little bit more, and actually went in experimental mode and tried to test it out to see how it works. And I finally found a system that kind of worked out pretty well. So to be honest, if this hinge here is leveled with this hinge, it's not going to work too well. So I brought it up one, and then this one that's connected here should be above one or equal. Preferably, I think, I haven't tested out completely, but if I put it up one block, it works out really well. And this system is actually somewhat of something I'm planning to do later on down the line, which is kind of very similar to like a hatch door. So you can actually use this type of system like a hatch door if you kind of flip it around and design it that way. But again, this was just to drop a mining drill, really. So that was a pretty cool, I think it was a pretty cool idea. Hope you guys thought it was a cool idea too. And of course, this one took a long time to build, so that's why it's going to be a bit of a long time lapse for you guys. Alright, so before we get to that time lapse, let's go kind of look for some stuff, because we definitely should have marked the nickel and the silicone that I found earlier while driving around, because I completely forgot where they are. And I'm completely out of it, so that's not good. Let's grab the buggy. I should extend the wheelbase in the front a little bit more, but I have not done that yet. Why can I not? Oh, that's why. I had the whole thing off. Duh. Alright, so this is what I mean earlier by the meteors. It's so hard to drive, and it's like, it's not difficult to go around it. It's just annoying. So that's, again, the main reason why I'm turning it off. Alright, so I'm gonna think about turning on some mods to make things seem more difficult, and that's pretty much against NPCs and having stationary stations around. So that's the idea, which again is also suggested from the comment section. So definitely gonna look into that and plop them on potentially to make things a little bit more difficult. But for now, we're just chilling around and looking for ore. Oh, I thought I had an ore detector on this guy. I guess not. I think we're on the ore side. This is cobalt underneath, so that's not what I want. I could potentially mark it, but we already have a cobalt section. You never know. I might need it anyway, so cobalt it is. Alright, so that's cobalt. So it's too bad storming when I decided to do this, but I'm trying to look for more ore. That way we can, well, we need nickel and silicone, lots of it for the windows. There's iron here. I know I marked it here before because I drilled here. This should be just iron, yep. And I know there's nickel somewhere. I should have plopped on an ore detector on here. So that way it makes life a lot easier to kind of search around. Maybe I'll bring my cargo truck instead. I mean, that's a little faster too, because it's a little bigger. Actually, it's not faster. It's a little heavy, and doesn't do it. I don't think I have the speed limit set pretty high. Here's nickel. Okay, so we have some nickel here. Of course, let's just do that. All right, nickel's marked. We have unknown signal pretty far away. It's storming, so let's just, I mean, actually, honestly, I like looking for unknown signals or chasing unknown signals to kind of help find some ore too. So it makes it less boring just looking around for stuff, and you have somewhat of a purpose. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna get to the unknown signal and see if there's any ores around, and at the same time, probably just gonna grind it down a little bit, not too much, because I can't bring it back anymore since I broke my carrying arm. That's iron. I don't need iron. Got plenty of that. And I want to make it a little bit better because I wanted to maybe make it go forward a little bit. I don't know. It's still a lot of thoughts about it, so let's see what happens. But yeah, this whole point of surviving Pertam, the wasteland, is to make a whole bunch of rovers, like whole different designs of them. Crane systems. We don't have jetpacks, so we gotta be creative and make welding systems that can reach pretty high up and everything like that. But we're good on resources for the most part once we get the drilling system up. Without the drilling system, it's gonna be a pain because I don't want to drill a big hole right next to the base, which is normally what I do anyways in most starts. Is start, drill a hole in the bottom, cover it up, and that's it. But I didn't want to do that this time, so I'm just gonna venture off a little bit and find stuff. So now we have silicone, so we're gonna mark that. Silicon, whatever you want to pronounce it, it's fine by me. But yeah, again, that's why I like running around looking for unknown signals, because it makes life a lot easier in terms of searching for ores this way. So as you see here, you can find ore pretty easily. You don't necessarily need an ore detector. In certain spots, you can just spot it on the floor in terms of a discoloration or a bit of a spottiness. Alright, this one's gonna fly up, I believe. So we're gonna have to kind of run up to it as quickly as possible and hit the button. Come on. I have plenty of those. And it didn't fly up, and I'm starting to suspect because... Nope, this one's not the flying one. Never mind. I was about to say because the gravity is too high, one thrust is not going to pick it up. But it should actually pick it up. These things are not that heavy. Alright, and also in the past, I've actually grabbed the batteries without destroying them and kept them in the base. So I can merge them into one big block. Like take several of them, merge them together. And then pretty much use that as batteries for a base. So just drain them for fun. It's more work than anything. So it can be fun. Alright, so we're going to just drive back and... oh, what is that? Alright, so as you see here, I can drive pretty fast. Stop and it's not going to do anything. I did slow down the speed limit too on the rover because this is nickel, so we already got a closer spot, so it's fine. Yeah, I slowed it down because I didn't want to keep flipping it when I drive too fast, which was one of the biggest problems I've been having when I drive too fast and potentially hit those meteor holes or craters, you can call them, of course. So I'm trying to avoid all that. See, look, this is the joy of playing Pertam, the Wastelands with the rover. Just nice driving without having to avoid too many little tiny holes that we gotta keep going left and right, driving around. So this is the fun of being here, and I'm gonna again keep it off. The meteors off because it's unnecessary. Here's more nickel. Just gonna enjoy my time here by building as much rovers as I can, and building a whole big base too. So definitely going to move my base sooner or later too, since we're littered with meteors on the side over there, and it makes things so much more difficult to just maneuver around. It's not really difficult, it's just annoying. But yeah, I'm gonna probably move a little bit, get to a nice little spot. Likely gonna stay above ground still. Don't want to be underground just yet, or at all. Probably eventually, maybe. But yeah, I'm just gonna build a nice big hangar base basically, and then just to kind of have all my little rovers. So definitely want to build more of these little small buggies because they're always fun to make, and can always go pretty far with them. But this one is magnesium. Actually, no, the magnesium is in this crater. No, I don't need that. This is nickel. If I built a nice little speeder, that'd be nice. Something we could go really, really fast. I'm gonna have a longer wheelbase, set the speed to unlimited, and just go. That'll be fun. But if you hit little, kind of little ramps like these, we're gonna go flying. So that's the other issue. But maybe I could build a rover that covers all sides with wheels, so we can never flip over, or can't drive while we flip over, or find a way to always flip ourselves over without damaging too much. So as you see here, look, it's easy to drive through this. It's not a pain in the butt, but it's just slow because I have to be very careful, and I like to be reckless. I don't want to be very careful driving a buggy or driving my truck over there. So yeah, so we got what we kind of needed. We got silicone and nickel because that is what we needed for a lot of stuff. We're not going to find gold and silver and platinum or uranium by just using my hand drill. So we're going to have to get an ore detector on this thing, or maybe I'll just make my own a quicker ore detector buggy so we can use that. And of course, I didn't even check the spots right next to me. Alright, there's one spot here. What do we got? We have... definitely not platinum. Platinum's in there. Am I in a spot? Yeah, I'm in a spot. This is ice. Right? No. What is this? Nickel. It's nickel. So that's platinum there, nickel there. I saw another white patch somewhere. I think. Guess not. Alright, so that's okay. Alright, so another fun idea I had in mind is instead of, the first goal obviously is to make it to the first economy base and then see if we can find any more on Pertam. So it's pretty much exploring Pertam is the main thing. And what we're going to do is, again, put some mods to make it a little more difficult. in terms of NPCs. And then we're just gonna explore Pertam. Maybe we'll cross the whole entire world, like make it from this point to the other point and come back, or just keep mapping around and explore the system and find a way to map everything that I've had. I think there's a mod or something like that where you can map where you're going. If you know if one does exist, feel free to share that in the comments so I can look for it easier and just explore the world that way. But yeah, alright, so pretty much not a lot being done today on camera, unfortunately, but a lot of time lapses in terms of making this truck. And I should be done with the truck in the next video, and we can use it and start drilling out for that nickel and silicone that we just mapped out. And that's pretty much it. So I still gotta grab stuff from that station. There's 2 large cargo containers. I think it's still filled with stone. This truck ain't doing it too well. It'll take you forever to kind of grab it, but I probably can't even navigate with that big truck to get it, so we're just gonna have to do it slowly at a time, I guess, and then grab all the parts back and bring it back here. Then we could potentially think about moving somewhere without the meteor since I turned it off, and we can have a nice big happy base. It looks like it's nighttime. It's a bit of a storm coming, very foggy, so we're gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna cue in the time lapse, and I hope you guys enjoy it. you guys know what to do. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, like the video. Consider subscribing to the channel, hit that notification bell, and leave us some comments. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.